On this episode of The Light Family, welcome back. It's your host, Thomas Edward, and it's a great day to be alive. We are walking, we are talking, we are breathing. And if you're lucky enough, you have hot water. Happy Friday, my little crystals, my Light Fam community. You have made it through the week, and I am proud of you, and you should be proud of yourself. Another day, another sleigh. I haven't recorded in a while, and I'm really excited to just get back on and bring back the light and just talk and catch up with you all. I I'm not sorry about that. I'm going to be my authentic self and not even edit it because sometimes when I start talking on the podcast, it takes me a second to get into my narrator voice. So thank you for bearing with me, and very blessed to have you here today. Take a second for yourself to call back your power. Call it back from every person, place, entity, dimension. And as you call back your power, reattach back to your love body, mind, and spirit. You are capable. You are loved. You are safe. You are infinitely protected. I've been really intentional ever since the new year with my energy and even doing podcast episodes and my Patreon and coming live with my collective, with our collective, I should say. It's everybody. It's not mine. It's not mine to own. It's ours. And we're building this together. I have so much gratitude for being where I am. And I just want to thank every single one of you for being a part of my soul mission, for bringing light and to bringing truth back to not only ourselves, but to our community, to the world. This episode's going to be really about catching you all up on where TE is at spiritually. I don't really share a lot of my own personal stories within myself. I try to, but I want to get better at that because I think that in order for me to be a leader in the spiritual community is also, yes, I talk the talk, but also to walk the walk. And today, I want to walk you through some experiences I've been facing. I don't want to say battling, I would say overcoming within the last 3 weeks, or I would say a couple months. Recently, I had a massive breakthrough. I got asked to do an event in Connecticut for a friend of a group of, I think there were 7 or 8 women, to come and do an in-person reading for the group. And I was a little nervous because a lot of my clients come from out of state. I don't really work in state. Not saying I don't want to, but I think because of my own traumas that are here, my own activators, I should say, I automatically feel like I am in my kid body in Connecticut. I know that sounds weird, but that's the best way I could describe it. And because of that, I don't stand so strongly and firmly in my professional light and don't share that with my friends or family. And when my friend asked me, I think she was even apprehensive, being like, I don't even know what I'm getting myself into, or my friends, but I want to give it a go. And I think it would be a fun activity for the girls to have for a sleepover and just reconnecting with everybody. And mind you, these are full-blown adults. These are 30, 40-year-old women, and they had the night to themselves. The husbands were watching the kids, the babysitters. They were doing a big slumber party for their friendship, which was really beautiful. And I felt very honored. I was like, oh my God, I'm so honored to come. And TE, before I would usually go to these type of events, would be really in my head, just thinking I had to do all the things, bring all the crystals, every single tool, every single spiritual book, you name it, I brought it. This time it was different. I sat with myself and just connecting to my guides and God. It was an invitation for me to be myself. And I don't have to bring anything because Source works through us all. We are the vessel. And my guides were kind of just like, T, go and be you. That's all you need to do. Don't hold back. Go and be the light that you are. And so I went, and that's exactly what I did. And I couldn't believe what was coming through. So many messages being shared. I actually even went a little deeper with this group, and I did integration. And I never did a group ECF before, and it was a success. Not only did we get messages from loved ones, but they also were able to receive energy and aligning back to who they are, remembering their power. And gifting this to these women filled me up so much to the point where it really started to take away the shame and guilt that I had around me doing the spiritual work that I do, especially in Connecticut. That I am actually born and raised here, and my light is meant to also be spread here, not just for Colorado or California or Wyoming. It's also for your friends and your family, and you should have no shame about sharing the light that you are, because the minute that you have no reservation and you just be, that's when God, Spirit, truth prevails. I think we all really don't know what we're doing. Even for myself, I go into any session, hands to God, and whatever's meant to come out that way, as long as my intentions are in the light of love, it does. And trusting that, that's the hardest part for people. I think trusting and having the ability to rely on love as source is extremely uncomfortable, especially in a society where we are being stripped away from the love and constantly being told that we have to do this or that or be this way or look this way or act this way in order to receive it. When joke's on us, we are literally the energy and vibration of love if we allow ourselves to be. Processing this session with this group, I walked away with so much love and gratitude. They're showing me that through this experience with them, that I'm not alone. And we all are craving love so bad, every single one of us. Not one of us are different in that aspect. I think we're all a snowflake. We're all so unique and have our own imprint. But what makes us all part of the collective and all one is understanding that we all have that one mission, and that is to love and to be loved. I get emotional just talking about it because the work that I do is not about trying to be perfect. It's about understanding that you're already perfect, and it's undoing what was brought on you to take you away from the love that you are. You are love. And the more that you vibrate in your body, your love, body, mind, and spirit, the more that the universe brings that back to you. What are you doing for yourself to get yourself in your love, body, mind, and spirit? Maybe you don't even know what that looks like and it's foreign to you. I recommend doing a session with TE. I would love to raise your vibrations as well as connect you back to your truth and remembering who you are at your core. All of us deserve love. The people that deserve it never get it. You know why? Because they don't expect it. When we expect things, and you want to be loosely when you kind of expect as well. It's just the inner knowing. But you don't want to put parameters in the sense of how it looks, because then you're putting yourself in a box and you're not letting the universe flow the way it needs to. It's about trusting. Trusting the love and light that you are. And whatever you put out, and knowing that because you're in that vibration, you can only match that frequency to come back to you. Cheerleading has been really difficult for me lately. And not that I don't love it. It literally feeds my soul. But working in an industry where there's a lot of personalities and a lot of different energies, it takes a toll on TE. And what I made a promise myself last week was that I am going to take this experience and make it the way I want to feel. I'm going to go into every practice and create the environment that I want for myself. And if anyone else that doesn't want to partake, that's on them. I'm tired of letting outside factors rule my inner peace. At the end of the day, it's about cultivating that inner peace to then transmute it out into the collective by doing and being in your peace around dense areas, people, places, things. I walked into the gym on Monday and we have competition back to back, so I'm running on E, and then my ECF clients, my grief clients, I do a lot of intentional work with them. All the work that I do, it's very, very, I would say, intense. That's the best word to say it. It's intense. And with that intense energy is making sure I maintain my own spirit and staying in my love, body, mind, and soul to be a good guide and to make sure I'm a clean vessel. And with cheerleading kind of speeding up and all this different energy, I felt myself getting drained by a lot of the density, a lot of the chaos of losses or the highs and lows of just competing, that I decided I don't want to feel that way anymore. And I can prepare myself to go into this season, the rest of the season, where I can control how I want to feel based on the experience I give myself. And you're probably like, wait, T, what the fuck are you talking about? I'll give you an example. Last night or Wednesday night, so 2 nights ago, I had my practice for my senior girls and my youth girls. But my senior girls were going to Atlantic City for competition this weekend. And I was like, you know what? We need to tap in this energy. I feel like no one's really excited. I want to get everyone excited. So I ended up getting like football like paint stickers for the under their eyes, because the competition we're going to is called Battle at the Capitol. So we're going to battle. So I went in there and I tumbled with the kids. We have all of our football paint underneath our eyes. We're looking like we're about to slay our back tucks, okay? And I left there in such a high that it all clicked, that it's up to me to make the experience the way I want to feel. Nobody else is responsible. Nobody else I can hold accountable for that. Yeah, maybe other coaches, maybe the owner. But at the end of the day, even them, they could talk the talk, but they can't walk the walk for us. I got to do it. How am I going to bring and raise the vibration for my team, myself? It starts with you. It starts with me. And that's where I started. Even my older team that I cheer for, I've been having a really negative mindset going into it, just because I'm so tired during my day. I go back to practices, and then I have my last practice kind of running until 10, so I don't get home till 11. It's just a long day for me. Instead of me being like, I'm tired, I started saying, how can I start being a leader for this team and just being light and have fun? So what do? Now I go to practice and I am just a goofball. I am having fun. I am learning new skills. I'm not taking it so seriously. And what's coming about it? We are learning, we are hitting our routine. We're coming together as a family. And I think that's what it's all about. At the end of the day, do we all want to win? Yes. But it's not about the W that makes the experience. It's about the people and the energy that you bring forth to that experience that makes the memory. And I think that's what I'm taking away. Right now, where I am at when it comes to cheerleading is learning that it's okay to just enjoy the sport for what it is. To do what you love and be a light by actually partaking in practices with my athletes, jumping with them, tumbling with them. It creates a surge of inspiration, and it all starts with yourself. So if you're in a space, whether it be work or home, and the energy is dense, the density is densing, how can you start to shift your own mindset to be in that experience and create it in a way that you want to feel? Maybe it's, instead of you coming home, you redo your bedroom to have it sanctuary, so that when you go in your room, when you close the door, it doesn't even feel like you're home. What if your coworker, you go in and instead of being mean, just giving them light and love, wishing them well, so that they can come back to you and just see if there's any shifts or any energy happening, for you to actually be receptive to enjoying your job. Instead of going into the job, maybe make a promise to yourself, you know what, at the end of the day, I'm going to leave work here, and start being intentional that way. You do not bring the density home. Nobody is forcing us to do anything. No one said that I have to go coach. No one said I have to go connect for people. I want to. But I also want to do it in a space where I feel I can thrive, where I feel there's love, where I feel safe. And sometimes we have to dig deep within ourselves to create that space for the collective if it's not there already. Wheel it in, taking it back. Being intentional and understanding what makes us one is that all of us want to be loved and to love. That's it. That's basic 101. We want love and we want to be loved. All of these different thoughts, even right now, ruminating in TE's mind, brings me to how can I bring this energy not only to my clients, but to my athletes. I am so blessed to be able to lead young spirits, young souls. And I think our youth is so important, all children, because they harness something that adults forget, and that's the innocence of believing in themselves before they get jaded by this cold world and get attached to all these different things that people put on them or places or experiences put on them. Knowing that that's my role is just to be a light for these kids and to teach them how to not only be their best athletic selves, but to also be that off the mat. I go back and forth between myself wanting to be a hard-ass coach, and I definitely have it in me. For my athletes that are listening and coaches that know me, I'm a little unhinged, and there's times where I do snap, but majority of the time I play the part of being the peacemaker, being the energy, and going in there and giving the light and telling those kids that they're awesome, even if they do a pencil jump, because they are awesome and they're here today and they have another day of life, and we're celebrating it because you're here, not because of what you do. And guess what makes you even more awesome is that you're a freaking awesome cheerleader as well. Whoa! And I think a lot of my co-coaches laugh at me because they're like, Tay, you're delusional. But I studied a lot of this, and studying just sports in general, positive reinforcement is always going to win over negative reinforcement. I was raised in a culture where my coaches were all negative reinforcement. Pressure makes diamonds. Pressure makes diamonds. Yeah, you're right. But also, I'm not as dense as a rock to be a diamond. That's a great metaphor, but I'll give you a better one. What if you're already the diamond and the pressure is breaking it so much to the point where you crack the diamond? Hell no. We do not want that to happen. Positive reinforcement is scientifically proven to show. I did an experiment last year doing a prep team I was coaching. They were god-awful. But did I tell them that? Absolutely not. Every single practice, whatever they needed me to fix, the the head coach that hired me, you know what I would do? Go in there and tell them the girls that they're doing great and this is how they're doing it. And then they would do their full out. They would actually do it that way because I did a little reverse psychology on their booties, okay? I am just thinking of this one individual right now, because with all this energy and just where I'm at, how can I create these spaces of love for the youth? Because I do it on the day-to-day for my clients and myself, but I want to bring this aspect even into cheerleading now. And one thing that I really stress for my athletes is to make mistakes. And I never yell at them. And from another bird's eye point of view, they'd be like, wow, T, why are you even coaching? Yes, because part of the formula of coaching too is having athletes being super confident and knowing that they can and are capable. A big piece of that is them hearing and knowing and feeling acknowledged that they are worthy and they're not irreplaceable. And part of my job is giving that light by allowing them to make mistakes. I tell them, you have to, because the mistakes are the only way we're going to grow. So if you're not making mistakes, there is no growth. And that is a universal law for all of us. Even adults. Yes. Do we want to make the same mistake twice? No. Okay. But you are allowed to make the mistake once, and you then have the humility and the responsibility, and you can hold yourself accountable then to make it right. And that's what is empowering. That's how you learned it. That's how you knew that was quote unquote wrong or negative. It's from that experience. It's from the fail. There's this quote that I always say, the person that falls down doesn't drown by getting up. They drown by staying down. Stand up. Try again. And do it in a way that you know now to do it from the experience that was learned. Hopefully that makes sense. There's one athlete that's coming to my mind, and I won't say this person's name, but she's one of our youngest athletes on my senior team, and she's our baby. She's incredible. She is so good at tumbling. Cheerleading is her sport. That's all I'll say. She is born for this. She is naturally athletic, But during this time of coming into a senior team, it's kind of hard because now you're with like the high schooler girls and you're like, well, I'm a middle school girly and like I have no thing in common with these older girls. And the pressure starts to get real. You start to compare yourself. It's just a whole nother game. Okay. Anyway, when this athlete is messing up, my other co-coach is always like, T, go talk to her. You got it. You got to give it to her. Go give it to her. And he's the one that's really about technique and corrections, which my hat's off because he should be. You know why? He knows what he's doing. He's been in this. The experience is 10 plus years. Probably 15 plus years, this kid. So talented. What do? I go over there and I don't know how to fix the stunt. At the end of the day, I'll tell you this much, okay? I just got back into this sport. The sport is always changing. You have to keep up with it. It's kind of like hair school, I think of, or aesthetics or science. You always got to be knowing the new research. So even for grips and what's in, what's not in, there's just a lot of different components, okay? Even stunting, legalities, the list goes on. That's not my forte. But this little girl has been cheering her whole entire life, probably since she was 4. And now she's, 12, 13? You know better than me. So I'm going to go over there. You know what I do every single time? I tell her how amazing she is. I don't tell her one thing to fix. Not one thing. I tell her the truth. You're a superstar. You already know how to do this. Go up there and be the cheerleader and flyer you know that you are. Go out there. I got the chills just saying that. Okay? And what does she do? She goes out there and hits it every single time. Why? Because she believes in herself. And when she believes in herself, she's reminded that she is powerful, that she is capable, that she is a superstar, and she knows what she's doing. And then what does she do? She creates that reality for herself. Let's go. So proud of that kid. Very, very proud of that kid. And there's so many different things, even in the cheer culture, even for myself, that I've been learning. This is a big piece of myself I see in this kid. I was the same way as her when I was little, when I was told, especially as a gymnast, and then going into competitive cheer and then Division I cheerleading. It was always very competitive, very high stress environments. I would break when I was being told constantly, I should say, in a negative light, being ripped apart to shreds for not doing a certain thing. And I'm already in my head about it because I already know that it needs to be a certain way. But now I'm overthinking it, where now I'm walking on eggshells. I'm not actually allowing myself to even be or go hard. There's this almost shame, this guilt that I don't even have the right to be doing it. Heck no. Broke that cycle. Broke it. And just another thought that's coming to me is when I was little, that pressure, I wanted to then go to another gym, and I did. And it was a hard transition for me. But throughout my life, now being 30, what I'm also learning is the grass is never greener on the other side. And you know what? I'll take that back. The grass probably could be, okay? But chances are they're not. And I think that we need to understand, as people, as humans, as divine light beings, we have the power to redo the grass that we already have, the land, the plot of land. The grass is already there. Maybe it's not full green. Maybe there's just soil or patches, but it's our time and our power. We can go and maintain. We can regroup. We can replant. We can add more soil. We can get the solder. We can then water it. That's what life's about. You do not have to run away to create an environment where you want to thrive. It's about thriving within yourself and bringing that into the environment so that the environment can thrive off your energy. My favorite thing that I see in athletes that they do is when they're taking the time to go in independently and train their skills. What does that do for me as a coach? It inspires me to give even more. The energy just keeps giving. I think that's it for right now. I'm just ranting, but there's a lot of thoughts, and I hope you took away one or two or three things from this. If you haven't already followed the Patreon, go follow it. Join today. If you join as a member of 2222, you get 50% off all sessions, and I'm booking right now for, drum roll please, February. Love month. It's Valentine's month in February. Crazy how we're already almost in February. When in doubt, don't forget to crystal it out. Make it a great day.